All right, so I'm here at the parking lot of the 24-hour fitness. I'm about to go in, but I wanted to jump on here and do a quick video about this dating thing because a question about it came up about, what's an acceptable amount that a man should spend if he is taking you out on a date, for the first time, or just, I guess, dating in general. Because there was a came to my MGTOW video, and he says that dating is not supposed to be transactional. So he doesn't, spend an overt amount of money when he's dating a woman, because the purpose is to get to know her. And for the most part, I agree with that. I do agree. Is the purpose of dating is to get to know somebody, right? Um, but there's a catch 22 with that, because if the person doesn't put much effort into getting to know you, then you're establishing a precedence with what you agree to, and what you're okay with too as a woman. So if you decide your first date is going to be a Starbucks coffee, you could very well do that. Sit and chat with him for 2 hours at the Starbucks for a latte, right? Um, where do you go from there though? Like, the next date is he going to take you to a five-star restaurant on the next date? Like, at what point do you have to qualify for him to spend a reasonable amount or a substantial amount of money for your time? And the only thing is, when you lowball, it usually you establish low worth. You just establish that there's nothing extravagant that needs to be done to get your time. So there goes that. There goes that. I think a walk in the park is nice. You get to talk to each other. There's no pressure. It's nice in one sense, and then in another sense, it's like, okay, so when do I get this experience to get me, all emotionally attached to you, so that you'll have access to my body, you know, because you're giving me an emotional experience. So the guys are in a quagmire because he has to create an emotional experience for you to want to have sex with him before being committed and all that kind of stuff. And the only way, the best way to do that is to shower you with expensive trinkets and expensive experiences and stuff, or really just, let's take expensive out of it. Really, experiences that you've never had before, you're not accustomed to, you're not used to. So he has to do that. And a walk in the park is not going to get you emotionally caught up to have sex with him. So there's that. So it is a quagmire because they don't want to spend, and rightly so, spending $200 or $300 on a woman you don't know. I would be apprehensive if I was required to do that on rolling the dice for somebody that I didn't know. So I get it in that sense. But the goal for men is to have sex with you. And you are not going to put a good impression on her by saying, let's meet for coffee. There's no effort. It's no effort, and it shows that you're not really motivated. So I don't know, guys. It's kind of it's hard. It's really hard to have a definite line drawn where this is concerned, because I understand the point of these men, but I understand as a woman that if you don't require much, if you establish that at the beginning, you're not going to get to the 5 star. If he likes you, it's not going to get to the 5 star. If you start off with a Subway sandwich, he might take you to a burger joint afterwards, but it's going to be along the lines of fast food. It might be a little bit better than Subway, but it's going to be along the lines of fast food because you're setting a precedence there. So dating is about getting to know each other, but it for a man, sorry guys, it is about showing effort, putting a good front, putting your best foot forward. It does include that. And unfortunately, it means that you got to cough up your little 200, little 250 or whatever up front and I don't know, roll the dice. Roll the dice cuz you're not going to get her to go to sleep with you for a coffee and a croissant. She's not going to consider screwing you for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a walk in the park. Although some do. Well, let me correct that because I know some personally who have done that for a cup of old English. For a cup of booze and a joint, they have had sex with men for a joint and a little cup of liquor. Unfortunately, unfortunately. So it's like how much do you like her? You put an effort based on how much you like her, and it is a dice roll. It is a dice roll. So to that, I would say, listen, if the guy insists upon not making too much effort in the beginning to spend time with you or to get to know you, then you respond in kind. You don't have to go to him dressed up with hair done, makeup or anything like that. You go to him just as he's coming to you. If he's coming to you for a level of a latte or a big gulp from 7-Eleven, and if that's what you're going to get, the big gulp from 7-Eleven, a little sit down there, then you come there like you going to 7-Eleven. You come in there in your sweats, your bedhead ponytail or whatever, no makeup on. You come there to just sit with him and talk. That's it. So you don't perform either. You don't put any effort either. I say if he doesn't put any effort in, neither do you. And we'll see how it goes. Let's see how that goes. And that might be beneficial because he gets to see you in your natural state, and he might have other plans after he sees you not put together. So it might be a win-win for him too. But I say whatever the effort the man puts in is what you match that. You match it. And then let that be that. It doesn't need 5 star, but whatever if he's saying just come meet me outside somewhere. Meet me outside your job and we sit in his car and talk. You just assume that he's not really that motivated to do anything else, and you chalk it up as that. Now, if he's willing to give you that impression, if he's willing to roll the dice, and he has that much conviction in not shelling out unnecessary cash for to give you an experience, then you just go with that and assume, okay, well, the dude don't like me that much, and that's fine. That's fine. You didn't get a notification. I wonder why. YouTube is so sometimey. There's only 7 people on here too. I think a lot of people didn't get the notification on this one. YouTube is very sometimey in that regard. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on here real quick and talk about the expectations of dating and how much is a respectable amount to spend. I honestly feel like I said in the last video, you didn't get one either? Wow. Okay, YouTube is messing with me then. I don't understand that. Um, yeah, with the topic of dating and spending money, um, it's confusing because there's mixed messages sent. Guys these days do not want to put out a lot of cash, and invest in someone they don't know. Understood. Understood. But at the same time, you want to give her a good impression. You want to let her know that you do like her, you do respect her, and you want to give her the best experience possible. That's what you want to do also. Now the question is, when do you decide to do that? When you actually like her, is that when you're going to start giving her, you know, your best? When you actually like her, or are you doing it? Are you waiting till after you screw her to do it? You know what I mean? So it's like, however you start is how you end. That's how I see it. However you start this thing, however you start the ball rolling is how it ends. I don't know any woman that goes from Starbucks to 5 star. I don't know. The men always pay for all the dates. Faith says the men pays for all the dates. Hey, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. All I'm saying is effort. Effort. Match him in effort. Just match him in effort. You don't have to demand nobody do anything. If he says meet me for coffee, you go there like you're going to grab a coffee. You don't go there with heels on and a cocktail dress and your hair done, or anything like that. Match him in effort. That's what we do, and we'll see how we go from there. We'll see how it goes from there. I personally feel that dates with men should be more physical. And to me, in general, I feel like as long as it's thoughtful, as long as you put effort into the date, and you decide to include things that you're passionate about, I don't have an issue with that. Like if a man is he's a church going guy and he invites me to church, and then brunch or something afterwards. If I know that he's about that life, I wouldn't take that as, like him, like he's lowballing me. So you got to factor in, okay, what's the lifestyle here? If the dude's lifestyle is that he does 5 star, 4 stars, 2 or 3 times a week, and he decides to take you for Starbucks, I would red flag that. Because I'm like, well, this is your lifestyle, and you're deciding, you know, I'm not. There's no need to put an effort in something that you're already accustomed doing for yourself. Then I would kind of take that as a slight. But like I said, if a dude is a church going guy, he's in church twice a week, and he suggests, okay, can we go to my? I'd love for you to visit my church, and then we go to brunch. We go to spaghettinis or something afterwards, or I don't know. I'll meet you for dinner later on that evening, or there's another seminar we could go to, or something like that. If he's about that and he makes those suggestions, I'd be okay with that. A church date is free. It's not the most expensive thing, but it's something that's his lifestyle. That's his lifestyle. So I'd be all right with that. There's a lot of inexpensive bistros men can take women. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. So, that's it. But, a lot of these men, it seems like they're making a point to lowball you, to kind of put you in your place, to not inflate your ego, make you think that you're all that, like they're doing it for spite. And I'm like, that's not a good way to start. You taking me for coffee out of spite to make a point that you're in control or something like that. That's really not a good way to start, to me. It's really not. So what do y'all think? I like physical days. I'm like, we could go to the gym. Tell me where your gym membership is at. Hopefully it's a sports gym where they have the saunas and jacuzzis and all that kind of stuff. Take me to a all inclusive gym somewhere maybe you wanted to go that you never been before. Let's go get a free pass to that. Meet each other at the gym. Let me see how you do your deadlifts and your arm curls. Let me see how you shape, because you showing up trying to see what I'm shaped like. So we can go to the gym and we can see the outline of each other's shape. We can see how much stamina both parties have. You could spot me on the bench press. Show me how to do a squat properly or whatever. We get to touch each other without being sexual. It's perfect. and then we go somewhere to eat after that. I think physical dates are very, very effective. Anything involving physicality is what you ladies need. If you worried about his size and all that, go see him in some gym shorts. Go somewhere where you got to see him in some activewear. See what's going on, and he'll be checking on you too. Like I said, a tough mudder race, some kind of obstacle course or something is a great date. You get to release sexual tension, all that kind of stuff. Help each other out, touch each other without being sexual. See how he handles leadership. If he has leadership skills, if he's a wuss or a punk, all of that. You get to see all of that. So that's a great day. Them tough mudder races, I think about. I want to say they're about $100 a pop, or it could be less than that if you get a little Groupon ticket or whatever. But if you catch something on sale, you might be able to get something a ticket in one of those for like $50 a piece or whatever. So it ain't breaking the bank, and it's a fun situation. It's not typical either. It's not typical either. So like I said, I'm a supporter of dates where both parties are experiencing something for the first time together. A dinner and a movie is so whack to me. Like whack. Real whack. So if it's something that he's wanted to do that he's never done before and something that you're curious about, that makes a great date. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a whole lot of money. I go for a first time experience over how much a guy spends. That I would. Thank you, China, for your administrative help. You're so helpful. Let's see. I'm a chubby chaser, so Jim, it is. I love chubby, tall dudes. I like chubby dudes too. I like men who are unattractive. Really, I like men who look like grizzly bears and monsters and stuff. Like big mountains. They be at the gym too. There's all types of dudes there. I go to the gym every day. Like I said, I'm in the parking lot now, the 24-hour fitness. I'm getting ready to go in there and see what I can see. See what I can look at while I'm doing my arm curls. You know? So that to me is a great start. It's a great start. So let's not, we can get caught up on the expense part of it if we want to. If we want to keep it cliche, how much is he spending? But how much he spends doesn't dictate or indicate that it's going to be a great date or an experience where you really know him any better or anything like that. There are other ways to do that, you know. There are other ways to do that. I think what trumps the money again is, are we doing something that you've always wanted to do? Am I going to experience something you've always wanted to do but have never done before? I like that better. I like that better. Because now I'm going to be forever in your mind related to something that you've always wanted to do. I've time stamped you now. You'll never forget me. So I like that better. Do women pay for her food? No. No. If he's inviting you out, if you're inviting a man out, then you should be prepared to pay. But if he's inviting you out to dinner, you should not be paying for your food. I don't believe in going Dutch. I don't believe in going Dutch at all. If we're dating, if it's a date, he pays. That's just it. But a lot of guys these days like, well, why can't she pay sometimes and I pay sometimes? I'm like, yo, y'all dudes, y'all really sold on this feminism stuff, and I'm telling you, women want bosses. Women want men who can control and handle their situations. Women want leaders. We're not really in that equality stuff. Not like women say. I know what's said, but it ain't really the case. A woman wants to be protected and provided for, no matter how much she's making. And if you're incapable of doing that, you just, it's not cool to try to play that equality stuff, but equality benefits men because they don't have to put in a lot of effort. They can come with this bogus ass scam. 50%. 50% effort. 50% is a scam, y'all. 50% is a scam. If that's all you're gonna get from a dude, you can go. Why don't you just live with your sister? Why don't you just have a roommate? Live with your best friend, your sister, or stay at your mom's house for 50% effort. I say that all the time. You taking yourself off the market for 50%, and the 50% you bring in sometimes is more, even more, that works out to be more than that, because there's a lot of time wasted. You lose a lot on that 50% scam, a whole bunch. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So any of y'all got any questions for me before I hop off? Oh, Call Me says, I always decline coffee and drink dates. It's dinner or nothing. Yeah, meeting for drinks at a bar or something like that. I'm like, wah, wah. That's a no bueno. That's a no bueno. You might as well meet at a corner store, bodega somewhere in the Bronx somewhere, and get you one of them Dirty Man Heroes and a 25-cent bag of chips and a quart of water. You know, you come out better doing that. That's about the level of what you're getting. Meat for drinks. Unless you're an alcoholic, I don't even see how that, what's the appeal in that? What is the appeal in that? I never go after a dude unless I'm trolling. It will never work out when he thinks he is the prize. Nah, it never does. Although that, a lot of guys say, the women got to chase me. A lot of brothers are saying that now. I'm not putting in all that work. Women come to me is what they say. That to me is strange to me. It's just out of order, strange, and natural, and it's a setup for failure. No woman should ever chase a man because men screw women that they don't like. So you can chase him, but you can't vet his interest properly when you do that, because you're the one doing the pursuing. And men love that because it's less work. They get to screw you for free with no effort put in whatsoever. That's all. When a woman chases a man, she's just giving him free ass, free pootie tang. No effort involved. And that ain't never beneficial to a woman, because you have to vet his level of interest is how you start uh, uh, the vetting process. And you can't see that if you're the one in pursuit of him, because a man will screw you that he can screw you even if he's not attracted to you. Don't I tell y'all that all the time? A man can ejaculate 2 and 3 times inside a vagina of a woman that he doesn't even like. Like, he doesn't like your personality. He doesn't like you as a person, but he likes having sex with you. Men do this all the time. So you pursuing them, you never know that unless you're okay with it too. Now some women are, they have it screwed on backwards, and they actually have no problem having sex with men that they know don't like them. So there's that part. So if you're okay with that, if you're okay with the probability of that, then you go ahead and you do the pursuing of the man. But men are so devious in that way. They don't care. They don't care when they care. Men hardly care when they care. So you running around, giving him no work to do. He's like, all right, well, I'll give you what you're looking for. Come and get what's between my knees. I'm gonna give you what you're looking for. China is a beast. China is the best moderator I've ever had. Spend what you can afford. You can't put a price tag on a great time. I'm paying for us even if she asks me out. All right, all right. I agree. I don't believe, it wouldn't make any logical sense for a woman to require a man to pay more than he can actually afford. That makes no sense. If he can't afford to take you to a 4-star restaurant 5-star restaurant, then that's just what it is. You can't force blood from a rock, you know. So then it would be like, okay, are you understanding about that, or how are you with knowing that he can't afford a lifestyle maybe that you're looking for? Are you all right with that? You know, is your priorities there, or is it not? So that's the thing. A man should spend what he can afford. This is just no brainers, common sense. In this age of equality, it is sexist to expect a man to pay for a first date. There is no such thing as equality. Equality is a figment of our imaginations. There is none, and there'll never be any such thing as equality. And women know this, and women understand this. And I don't think women should even expect this, because men work harder than women. Pound for pound, men work harder than women. You know what women do when they get into positions of when they climb the corporate ladders and stuff like that, they want maternity leave. They want to change the bylaws, and to accommodate their feelings and their emotions, and their burnout and all that stuff. Women are not working 200 hours a week around the clock, missing food and missing their families. Men do that easily every day and twice on Sundays, and this is why they're paid more, because men work more. There is no such thing as equality. We're both equipped for different things. We're equipped for different things, you know, truth be told. And a woman is just not going to outwork a man. She's just not. So this thing called equality, I don't know where we're getting this from. We both are efficient in what we're designed to do. We're efficient in what we're designed to do. And that's just it. So to me, it's not sexist to expect a man to pay, because I'm not equal to a man. That's not my mentality. And you ladies got to let these men know from the door, because a lot of them are confused. A lot of them think every woman these days is a feminist. If you don't put on lipstick or pluck your chin hair, oh, she's a carpet munching feminist out here. If you don't have a perm in your hair, which I don't, right? Oh, she's not really into herself. She must like women. She must not like dudes. This is what is assumed. Every dude now thinks that every woman is a feminist. So you guys need to ask questions. Like, what's the position on gender roles? Like, ask her. you know. And I'll tell you this, a lot of women ain't sure. A lot of women just parrot off what they're hearing in mainstream media and stuff like that, because everyone's saying it, everybody they respect is saying it, so they might as well believe it too. You have that going on, so you have to probe. You men have to be investigatory, and probe and really really find out, well, what are your principles? What do you really believe in? If you didn't need the approval of anybody else, what would you be doing now? Because I'm telling you, I talk to women who are doctors and lawyers, upper echelon, high identity people, who, if they had a chance to do it over again, they would just be mothers and housewives. If they had men that would shoulder the load, who were willing to do that, you know, they would be stay-at-home mothers. I'm telling you what they've said. I talk to women who get pregnant to take time off of work, to get paid leave off of work, because they just, otherwise they the 80 hours a week or whatever, 90 hours a week that they're doing is straight burnout. So they get pregnant to get a break. So it's not so, it ain't all that. Once a woman taps out and makes a certain amount of money, she's looking like, damn, I need a family now. I mean, how much more money do I need? Whereas a man who's alpha male can keep going and going and going. The next deal, gives him an erection. Every deal that he does gives him an erection. Why does Trump keep going? He doesn't need the money. But men are designed to, hunt, go after things. Women, once she reaches a certain stage, she's like, I gotta scale back. I gotta fall back. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I need a break. We are different. We're different. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't subscribe to no strong black woman narrative, and anybody who's come to the UGC club, to this UGC channel, the Ugly Girls Club, knows that I am not that label right there. You can bury it. You can bury it in cow dung and set it on fire. I don't want to be associated with anything strong at all. Not at all. Because then the assumption is I'm sort of like a pseudo man like you. And no, I'm not. I'm a delicate flower that needs a safe environment. I'm affected. My hormones are affected by my environment. And if there's no peace there, and if there's stress there, I'm gonna get sick. So you have to know this as a man, that the woman that you stress out, that you don't put your best effort forward for, you kill her slowly, like literally. You ladies have to tell these men that. You have to tell them that. Women work because they have to. They have to. We're designed to look for something to care for, something to nurture. Cliche as it is what it is. So if we can't nurture a kid, we get a dog. That's what it is. I'm not a strong black woman. I need assistance. Trump is a disgusting pig and is nothing of any sane African aspired to alpha male. That's an opinion. I just used him as an example of a male mentality, male work ethic. So, alpha men don't sit around. Alpha men don't care what nobody thinks, you know? And that's why men make better leaders than women, because women want to comply. Women care about what you think about her. Women care if you find her attractive or not. Women care about these things. Women want to be liked. And this is why men will always make better leaders than women, because you have a true male. He doesn't give a shit what you think. And this is why they manage things better than women. Because his first goal is not to be liked. Not like how us not like how we do. So there's that. You know? There is that. So I think a man who has the means and the wherewithal should put in an effort to make sure the date is a great experience. I think sitting down to have coffee isn't an impressive experience. It sends a message that you uh, are sort of worried about losing, that you're sort of insecure. I feel honestly that men who do that send a message that they're not secure, like they're afraid of losing. Life is about losses and gains. There's no way to live life without loss and gain. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But men with money, they pay to play. Men with money pay to play. So there's that. So if you don't want to look like you're fearful, guys, don't take it to Starbucks. Take it where you want her to have a great experience, where you want to make a first impression, where on her drive back home, she's going, wow. She's not going wow on the drive back home if over no latte and a cream cheese bagel. She's not gonna be wowed by that. She's not gonna be her emotions are not gonna stir. Not unless you're a really attractive guy, you know. But if you're an average looking dude lowballing, you're only shooting your own self in the foot. You're only shooting your own self in the foot. I'm just saying. Listen, I feel for y'all. I feel for y'all. It's rough, but I feel for us too. It's rough out here for us too. It's rough for everybody. Africans have produced many great African women leaders. All right. All right, take that to the bank. I don't know what we do with that. So, because I went on a date on past Monday, and it just to a restaurant. Should I let him go because of that? You said you went on a date last Monday, and it was just to a restaurant. Should you let him go because of it? Well, why would you? Was it a nice experience? If it was a nice date and the conversation was good. The chemistry was okay. You don't have to let him go because it was just a restaurant. Because you agreed to it. Wherever he took you, you agreed to it. So you let him go because of what? But so, because you previously mentioned that most men today are betas. Yes, I did. So your point on that is what? If you don't own no corporation, if you don't have any hiring power of any sort, if you're working for a living, you're a beta. But betas still outwork women. If that's the point you're making, a beta man is still going to outwork a woman. Still, the vice president is a beta. Upper managements are betas too. Anybody who's not in total control is a beta. The strong black independent woman script does not serve us all. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It never has, and it never will be. It just gives people license, or men license, to just not do what they're supposed to do, which is to treat you like a woman. If you're saying you're strong, you're sending a message. Well, you're not a woman anymore. Because for us to have to say that, we're saying that we're compensating because of conditions. That's why we would say we're strong black women. We're letting it be known that we've compensated or overcompensated. Let the scar tissue build because of conditions that were not favorable. That's nothing to be proud about. That's nothing to be proud about. I went to salsa dancing and then to dinner afterwards recently. It was actually pretty nice. I love salsa dancing. I get to show off my talents. Bingo. That's something physical. That's like I said that you should do a Tough Mudder race or go to the gym or something like that. But salsa dancing is great too because you get to touch each other, you get to see movements, you see how they react, respond, you know. So that's a great date. What we do with that is stay grounded in our values and history and stop trying to copy inhumane social order. I wish that were true, but it's not true. You're just posturing, you're idealist and all that, and that's great. But you know what you're saying. Even what you're saying is not true. There is no amount of knowledge of history that changes the emotional behaviors of people, because it's your emotions that dictate how you behave. History doesn't change emotions, unfortunately. So there's a lot of street prophets that have a lot of knowledge like you. That doesn't make them better fathers or better men for the women in their lives, though. They know about all the African queens and all the great civilizations and all that stuff, and still don't make the best efforts for themselves or their families. And this happens every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. Information is just information. If we don't collectively have any power, then it's just information. If you are not in a position to hire your son, then what you know about African queens is just information. Period. So a woman should take the offer of a beta as long as he gives her everything he has and has a decent income. A woman should take the offer of y'all. Don't you getting tied up in alpha and betas? Most men you meet would be classified as a beta. And I said before, there's nothing wrong with that. There's hardly any woman on this live or anywhere really has access to an alpha. And alpha men don't make the best mates in the first place. Alpha men are not controlled by anything emotional. They do what they want to do. They're usually psychopaths and sociopaths. To the truth be told, they are in this life to get what they want, and they don't care who's collateral damage. So those are not the men that you should be like, you should even be trying to get, because you can't get them. You know. So yeah, I mean, whoever's showing interest, respect, has a standard of living that you can accept is the one that you give a shot to. I need help understanding a man's intentions. If he doesn't go all out for the first date, you say a man should really try to please the woman on a date, but yet basic restaurant means he doesn't care. I didn't say basic restaurant means he doesn't care. I said personally, dinner and a movie is cliche. Dinner and a movie is an experience that you can have right now without going on a date with a man, that you've done a million times before and that he's done a million times before. It's not to say that him taking you out on a date means that he's not making an effort. I'm saying it's something that you both have experienced before, which doesn't timestamp. It doesn't create a groove in your psyche the way that a first time experience together would. So if you're contemplating going on a date, it should be something that you don't normally do, or something that you've always wanted to do, or that he's always wanted to do. That's something that you discuss. Like, you ask him, well, where did you want to go that you've never been? And that's the place that you should go. That's what I would suggest. And I'm not suggesting that where he's taking you means that he doesn't like you. I'm saying that for future reference, if you're trying to decide where to go, you sit down and ask him, is there anywhere that you've always wanted to go that you've never been? Is there something that you want to do, you just didn't have time to do it? Place that you want to go. Is it something you've been studying? Like, you gotta know who you're dealing with. If he studies rocks and stuff and he wants to go to some observatory or somewhere that he's never been, that would be a great date. You know, great cheap date, but a great first time experience. That's what you want to look for. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. A 5-star restaurant is great, but I mean, effort, contemplation, really thinking things through. How much effort is put into it? Because he could take you to a 5-star that he's been a million times. There's no effort in that. There's no thought in that. So then even the 5-star becomes just a regular Subway sandwich. You know what I mean? I'm getting back to drawing and painting again. I don't know why I ever gave it up. You inspired me to become an artist and pick back up. Just splurge on art supplies. Girl, do it. You must soothe that creative little girl inside of you. I think all women should have some sort of creative endeavor. It just balances you out emotionally. Hobbies themselves make you feel better about yourself. You maintain a high level of self-esteem when you engage in hobbies. You must have a hobby to keep you emotionally balanced. So that would be my recommendation. African women have always been, oh, here we go. You're not, so what I'm going to do is just leave you to it. Whatever you feel is fine. 414411825. Whatever you feel is fine. I reject it though. So how about that? I enjoy fine dining. I'm happy and nice when my belly is full. Then have at it. Have at it. I'm sure there's somewhere you've wanted to go that you haven't had the time or maybe the money to go. Then go there. If eating makes you happy, then do that. Murder mystery dinners are great dates. They're so funny. Oh, now that's interesting. That's better than a dinner and a movie. Going to musicals, like comedy musicals or something like that is good too. Reenactment things, the Viking, we call them things, and things where they do the jousting and stuff like that. I've never gone to one of those, but I've always wanted to do that, where they have the big ass turkey legs and stuff they eat. Think of something that you just wanted to experience that you never have. Whatever happened to just getting to know each other? This wicked society is upside down. I agree. I agree. What's happened to just getting to know each other is that we have a whole culture. that's supported by purveyors and recipients, both male and female. We have porn addicts out here. So just getting to know someone who's addicted to porn is not even going to work because his level of concentration and focus and stimulation is higher than anything she could bring. So if we were living in the past where we weren't influenced by all of this whoring around and this, free love nonsense, then just getting to know each other would be a good experience. But people have a threshold of stimulation that's higher than just sitting down and having a conversation. The level of attention, the attention span of people is extremely short now. So just getting to know half of what you're saying, they won't even remember anyway. Their mind be floating somewhere else. So that's what's happened. Thank you for clarifying, Selka. So far, so good with this man I'm speaking to, vetting seriously. Good luck to you, Rosemary. All the energy, all the positive energy for it. Good luck to you. We keep lowballing ourselves as women when it comes to dating. A lot of women see no issue with going to the park or getting coffee. Well, and listen, they're entitled to that. It like I said, is a catch-22 with that. I see the purpose of that because it creates, it's like no pressure, right? It's no pressure. You're just there to meet and talk. So I get it. I get it. It's just by human nature is also involved, and the man wants you to be emotionally turned on. And while he's saving the coins in his pockets, he's not turning you on with a coffee or walk in the park. That's just not going to turn you on. So it's a catch-22. I get it. Save your money, but risk having her be kind of indifferent about your interest. She's reading your interest as indifferent, like you're not really into it. So you risk that. You risk that when you don't put no effort in. These feminists are really pushing the agenda. Time to wake up, everyone. Yep, absolutely. Look up murder mystery dinners. They're fun. I love that suggestion, Rita. I love it. I was told by my children's father that I act like a man. Oh, I wouldn't if you were doing your part. I'm compensating to take care of the children. And there's that. How about that? A lot of women are forced to be aggressive and masculine because they are playing the man's role in their lives. So while we're told as a whole, as black women, we're just more we're less aggressive, we're less feminine than other women. There are reasons for that. Some of it's by choice, others by just it's conditions. It's like we have there's no other way. There's no other way to be because there's nobody has our back. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. What's wrong with going to the park? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with going to the park. Going to the park is by going to the park and taking a girl to the park, you're saying that I don't want to put any effort into this. I want to get to I do want to spend time with you, but I don't want to put any effort or risk any loss to spend time with you. That is the message that you're sending. So if you're okay with sending that message to her, if you're all right with all of that, then you do that. Because that's exactly what you are saying. Yep. Date number 2 and 3 will let me know what his interest really is. Yeah, just see what happens. See if the quality of the dates improves, then you know how motivated he is to have you around, to experience you in whatever way. You'll know quick. You'll know before you open your legs. You better know before you open your legs. Don't take this thing afterwards like a lot of women do. They don't know what's going on until after the knees have already been parted. That's not the order of things. Derek Jacks and K. Michelle got into an argument about her views on men being bad people. Seems like men are upset with her for being honest. Oh, they're upset. I saw there was a video that came up in my suggestions feed from another channel. I think he's MGTOW. And in the comment section, a lot of people were saying that, K Michelle is, burnt out whore. She made bad decisions, and now she's blaming her bad decisions on blaming you know, this universal tag of all men are evil on her personal dating decisions. A lot of people in the comments were saying, "Oh, that's just her. That's just her." And I don't believe that. I believe, whether she's augmented herself or not, butt implants and all that or not, I believe that some of what she says definitely has merit and universal appeal. Because most women who've had more than one man has been hurt. If you're not with the same man that deflowered you, that took your virginity, that means you've gotten hurt. That means you've experienced hurt, disappointment, pain, rejection. That's what all of that means. Because we don't leave situations that are good, for the most part. If you're a sane woman, you're not going to leave a situation that's good. So if you've had more than one partner, then you understand, you can relate to what she's saying. You can relate to what she's saying. The point that she made about men expecting you to be ride or die. They're expecting you to stick around after they've hurt you. That's an issue. That really is an issue, because a lot of men do feel that way. Like, if you really love me, you wouldn't let this tear us apart. Ain't that what they say? Girl, if you really cared, why you gonna let this little thing? Why you gonna let her break up our home? Why you gonna let her break up our home? Her ain't breaking up our home. You putting your penis inside of her is breaking up our home. That's what's breaking it up. But this is what they say, don't they? So what she's saying has merit. And what other people say about her, ruining herself or making bad choices, of course, that has merit too. But every woman, she's not saying something that every woman hasn't thought. Like, what's wrong with these dudes? You can love them, you can take care of them, you wipe their forehead when they have fevers and all that, and they still say, well, you're not enough. You're not enough. And then the ones that be upfront about it, and then you have the dudes that are upfront about it. They don't even front like they could be exclusive with you. They campaigning for sister wives after the first date. They like, listen, I just need you to be a team player. I just need you to be a team player. So you have the dudes that hide it and the dudes that are upfront about it, but they all hurting women out here. All of them. Did you see Lord of the Rings, Nicole Murphy being fake on the Wendy Williams show with her fake apology to Layla? No, I did not. She's still apologizing? Is that something new? Lord have mercy. She done messed up her coin prospects on that. She done messed up her coins on that. Nicole made a bad play right there. A real bad play. Fooling around with this dude who ain't gonna leave his wife. Because he ain't gonna leave his wife. Layla would have to leave him. He ain't leaving his wife. It's very unfortunate. I just want to be a lady. Being a working mom feels very unnatural, and I feel out of balance. Well, who's that? Letitia? It's gonna be difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult because you're a mom. You're a single mom. And single mothers pose a higher risk to potential suitors and men out here. A higher risk because there's a higher financial burden. A lot of emotional things, a lot of emotional baggage and stuff like that comes with, courtship and dating a single mother too. So I don't know. It's not impossible. But it's just gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of work. Yes, Wendy had to force an apology out of her. What? Wendy made her apologize? Wow. Wow. Interesting. Well, I guess Wendy, she had a personal stake in that because she knows firsthand what it's like to be humiliated by a man that you've been married to and have built a life with. Wendy's husband is he just totally disrespected their relationship and her. He had no value for her. And the point is, the lifestyle that he enjoyed and the things that he was able to give the mistress was off of Wendy's sweat. Wendy's sweat equity provided all that. But this is what they do. How is that not effort? The best way to get to know someone is a quiet walk together. A man may show that he has respect for for ecology. He's a botanist. If you're a botanist, then we can take a walk in the park. Like I said, it's got to be related to what you are. If you're a botanist, then yes, a walk in the park is going to be meaningful because you're going to tell me about the different flowers, the different properties of this, what gives oxygen to the air and all that kind of stuff. The whole ecology. You can break all that down to me. But otherwise, a walk in the park just so you don't have to pay for dinner. That's all you're saying is that listen. I don't want to spend this kind of money on you. Let me just find out your deep dark secrets for a cup of coffee. And I'm telling you, listen, if the dude does not want to spend on you, he's entitled to do that. But don't go divulging deep dark past secrets. You don't sit in no coffee shop with a dude for 2 hours. Don't do that. If all he's asking you is to meet for coffee, you give him 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you get on. And 45 minutes is really a stretch. To me, a half hour. That's all you got. That's all this coffee is worth is a half hour. So get your questions out. Whatever we can cover in a half hour, that's what we're gonna cover in a half hour. And that's it. And that's fair and square. I think that's really, really fair. So, this not don't turn this into something wrong. Because it's not. I'm not saying anything's wrong with anything. You know you ain't doing nothing else extra because you don't want to. And the woman that you're offering the coffee to understands that too. Women understand this. But she doesn't have to say no to you. I'm not even saying that the woman should say no. I think she should go. She should go like she rolled out of bed, though. She should go and then shower after she leaves you. She should go and get coffee like she makes a coffee run in the morning when she drives her kids to school or opens a mailbox or whatever in her robe. She should come meet you in a robe with a bed head, and y'all can sit down in the Starbucks and talk for a half an hour, and then she see you later. Let me know when you want to meet again for coffee. That's exactly what she should do. Oh, now walk in the park and dinner is fair. It's not. It's not even about fair. It's not about fair because truth be told, if it's a walk in the park, she don't even have to leave her house. She could do a WhatsApp. Talk to you for 15 minutes on the WhatsApp. I wouldn't leave my house for a cup of coffee. If I know you lowballing me just because on GP, whatever. Whatever, but again, you're entitled. Thank you, Letisa. Yes, like up the stream, y'all. There's 46 people in here. Can I get 46 likes? That'd be great. That's what Suckers is saying. So how do you ensure into a woman that you want her intentionally for one day of marriage and not just placement? Well, that that's the big debate uh, with men. Nowadays they're questioning, well, what they have to do to how much effort they actually have to put in to getting to know you and to establishing a relationship with you and all of that. And I don't know if I know you could do better and you don't. That already, listen, I'm not forcing you. If I know you can do better than what you're doing for me, you've already told me what I need to know. You've already told me what I need to know. So there's no speculation there. Don't get into no speculations and no innuendos and no ideology talk with no dude that can do better than what he's doing for you, and he's showing you that he's not interested in doing any better than what he's doing for you. You just make a notation of that. And it is what it is, and you match him in effort. That's all I'm saying is match the dude in effort, and we ain't got no problem. We ain't got no problem. Women should stop accepting the bare minimum. Hey, women need to respect themselves too. Accepting bare minimums on things really has to do with your own self-worth, your perception of your value, you know, how you represent yourself. Because a lot of men have the argument that, you want all this and that ain't really how you living. You want all this upper echelon stuff, and you live in an apartment somewhere, some housing subsidy somewhere, and you want me to do all this and all that for you. And it's like, I get it, but the point is that men marry down all the time. Men marry women lower rank and lower class, lower stature and status than he is, all day long and twice on Sundays. That's normal to do. It's not abnormal for a man to take some chick out of Waffle House and clean her up. If she's cute enough, he'll do it. He'll do it. So it's not even a point. All of this boils down to this discussion is about how, who you interested in upgrading, who you interested in saving, who is worth the risk, who's worth the effort, and who isn't. And if a man is outright telling you you're not worth the effort, just understand that that's what it is, and keep it pushing. Like, okay, meet you for coffee. Meet him for coffee in your robe. Meet him for coffee in your robe and your bath slippers. That's what you do there. Sure. When I go do this grocery run, I'm gonna swing over there. You go over there in your track shoes or whatever, and you do that. Thank you, Mr. Wright. So, how much do you think a dude should spend on a first date? Again, there really isn't a dollar amount that I can say. It's based on what both parties are interested in doing. If I were talking to you about going on a date, I would first find out, well, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? Is there anything you're passionate about? And if that's not the case, then I would you would reciprocate the question and ask me, and I'll tell you what I'm interested in and what I'm passionate about, what I've always wanted to do and never got a chance to do. And somewhere in the middle of that, we're gonna pick a destination, a designated place for you to take me based on what we're both interested in, what we're both curious about, what I've never done before, and we'll pick a place out of that. And whatever the cost for that is, that's what it is. If we come to the conclusion that what I like is something that you can't afford, then it is what it is. Well, how am I argue with you over what you don't have? I'm not gonna argue with no man over what he don't have. So there's that. And I wouldn't reject something less expensive if you come right out and say, listen, I only make 50,000 a year. That's gonna be a little steep. I won't be able to pay my car note this month if I take you there. If a man told me that, I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, listen, here's a second choice. I wouldn't get up from the dinner table and go, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. You know, I wouldn't do that. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, we have to be practical. We have to have understanding. We're human beings here, not machines. Not machines. I tell women all the time, a man that gives his all to you, whatever he has, if he's giving it all to you, that's the best man. If it's $50,000 a year that he makes, and he's giving you 49 of the 50, that's a winner right there. And you in your black girl magic can inspire him to do more and increase his money in some way, and help him increase his money in some way. That's a great relationship. That ain't nothing to throw away. Because there's men who make six figures, high six figures, that don't give their wives or girlfriends anything, you know, but a bottle of whiskey and some hairy sweaty balls. That's not a good relationship. A man who's giving, no matter if no matter what he has, if he's giving and willing to give, that's somebody that you work with. Why should a man have to give me all his money? He doesn't. He doesn't. What I'm saying is, if what I'm saying is a figure of speech, if he's motivated to put 100% effort into making sure that you are in a better standing with him than without, that's somebody, that's a good guy. That's a good guy. Cheap men don't understand that they have a spirit of scarcity due to them being cheap. There is a spirit of scarcity. There is a spirit of scarcity. Because I'm not about to give him all of mine. Well, you don't have to, Faith. Who said you had to? You don't have to. A man is a man in your life. You're not equal. I already broke that down. There's no equality. There's no such thing as that. A man is a man in your life. A man comes to increase you, or he really has no purpose. He has no purpose. So if he can only increase you by $20, then that's what it is. But a man's coming to increase you. Otherwise, you can be by yourself without the headache. MGTOW men watch YouTube videos all day in porn. What they do? Screen and screen. MGTOW videos and porn. They oscillate between the two. Might be. Might be. I love MGTOW brothers. I actually do. I don't have a. I'm not intimidated by them. They don't worry me. I find them to be funny and insightful. You know, they're very very insightful. Their breakdowns of women are very interesting too. But it's nothing to be intimidated by if you don't fall into the categories that they're talking about. I've never been one to manipulate men into giving me something that I don't feel I deserve, or just for the thrill of it. I'm about relationships, not usury. Relationships. That's what this thing is about. Because I know that as women, we got to prepare for the second act, for the last half of life. Y'all are not going to be cute forever. The phone stops ringing after a while. And you got to have a plan B. You got to have some other things in place for when that part of your life is over with. And it does end. It does end. So I'm not of the vein that we could just make decisions based on, our standings right now. Okay, you 22, you hot. Dudes are checking for you now and all that stuff. Things are great. I don't believe you should make decisions about your entire life based on what you're getting right now. What's available to you right now, because those things change. And as you get older, when you hit 30, when you're 25, it's one thing. When you're 30, it's another thing. And when you're 35, it's another thing. And when you're 40, it's another thing. This thing flips and turns and morphs and all that kind of stuff. So the problem with us is that a lot of women are making decisions based on what's available to them right now, instead of thinking the long game, thinking about their futures. You're not thinking about your future enough. And a lot of these MGTOW men blame us. We whore when we cute, and then when the titties start sagging and stuff is when you want to settle down. And they're right about that. they're right about that. Once your tits look like cucumbers, that's when you're looking for somebody to love me for me, love me unconditionally. You better get it while it's hot. You better get it while the pickings are abundant, and you can pick from a pool of men that you actually like. Because once you wait till you're 35 and 40, you got to pick from a pool of men you don't really want to be with, or men who lowball you. That's what happens there when you wait. So then why do y'all keep using shame tactics on MGTOW men? Who uses shame tactics on MGTOW men? I don't use shame tactics on MGTOW men at all. MGTOW men come to my channel to antagonize me, to berate me, to talk about my looks and hitting the walls and cause fear mongering and all that stuff. This is what MGTOW men do. I don't give two shits about what they do. You don't see me commenting on anything on anybody's channel causing a stir. I leave them to whatever they do. I leave them to whatever they do. So there's nobody shaming MGTOW. I'm stating facts. And the fact is MGTOW is an instrument to dismantle the family, just like slut shaming is. We got two extremes going on here, and I talk about both. There's nothing beneficial in a man who just wants to be a rolling stone and spit sperm in any woman that he can until he dies and not be responsible for anybody. Like what kind of dude is that? Like you just gonna live in a treehouse somewhere and smoke weed all day because you ain't got no responsibilities and that's supposed to be an accomplishment. Okay, you're not taking any risks, so you're better off than a man who decides to have a family, who decides to have progeny. I don't get that. You MGTOW dudes gonna get old too. You MGTOW dudes are gonna get old too. What are you gonna do then? This is not just a woman's problem. It's a guy. You got your last chapter in life to deal with also. When your dick stops getting hard, when you no longer can get an erection, what are you gonna do? So there's that. We kind of in the same boat. There's no shaming going on here. I don't like that word. We're talking facts. This facts. That's all they do. They like to antagonize. That, and I get it. They're like bullies. They like to bully women because they're frustrated, and I get it. But I'm not the enemy. I'm certainly not. I'm on this channel trying to tell women to hold it down, close it up. Don't just cheapen yourself and become a statistic. And they still have an issue with that. So the issue ain't with nothing else other than they just frustrated and they looking for something or somebody to target. At least the ones that come my way are. The ones that come my way are looking for targets. A baby doesn't know you love it if you don't feed it. Quantify the value of your love. If not, a woman is in a hazard to be wasting her time. A woman's time is valuable to her. There you go. And there it is. There it is. Let me scroll back. So then why do y'all keep... Okay, y'all answering that question. A date is getting you ready for that bedroom action. That's all it is. That's what Faith said. The date is to get you primed and emotionally invested so that you open your knees. But you ladies, like I said, you have to resist all of that. And you have to have in your mind, listen, I'm really, the real goal here is not trying to get him to fall in love with me. Because a lot of us, that's what we start dating for, to get him to get emotionally involved in us and to fall in love. That's not the goal. The goal is just to get to know him. Just to get to know him. That's it. Is having stretch marks and cellulite equivalent to being ugly? Uh, depending on who the stretch marks and cellulite is on. Because I've seen women that have sex appeal up the yin yang. with cellulite and stretch marks. So it depends on who's wearing that. Some women are affected by it and some women are not. Some women, their action does not slow down because of cellulite. So, that's an individual thing. That's an energy thing. That's an energy thing for the most part. And ain't nobody checking for you, boo MGTOWs. I get it. With them, we a lot of us are in pain, male and female, in pain from rejection and fear of further rejection. So we do things to try to curtail all of that. And it just they're thinking it's empowerment when it's really it's just fear. It's just fear. MGTOW guys want to pump and dump, so they are mad you're telling women to close their legs. I would say there's some truth to that because they don't support it. When I say that, they don't even mention it. They just say I'm a whoremonger, I'm a whore or something. I'm like, how is that? How is that? Because I'm telling women to wait until a guy provides something. So if there's any exchange, if you talk of any sort of exchange, then you're automatically a whore. So what they want you to do is to love for free so that they can pump and dump and leave you with emotional, mental, and physical baggage. That's pretty much it. Men are in pain and frustrated and they want to take their pain out on women. Women are not to be abused in life and be a man's punching bag and dumping zone for dumping mess and low self-esteem. I agree with that. I agree with that. And a lot of us are. A lot of us are dumping grounds for men's pain and frustration with their own lives and their lack of success and their lack of esteem. You have to be careful. You have to be careful that you're not just something to skeet in, something to put jizz in. You don't want to be that girl that men just put jizz in. You know, that like they rub one out when they're alone with a Playboy magazine. You don't want to be that. You don't want us to assist him in rubbing one out so that he doesn't I don't know, commit murder or burglary out here or something. You don't want to be that. I require my boyfriend to pay all the rent and bills even though I make more. He thinks it's unfair but does it anyways. Am I being unfair? Well, what do I say to that? I would ask you what the end game is with your boyfriend. Are you going to marry? Are y'all planning on marrying each other, or is this just a temporary situation? That's what I would ask you. Like, what's your end goal? Many men want to keep benefiting more from relationships. 50-50 and free love benefits them more. Yeah. Okay, so you want to marry him. And what is it that he feels? His views is that you should go half and half on all the expenses, or you should do more, maybe 70-30 because you're making more. Like what's his view on that? Because if you're not eye to eye on it, that's gonna be an issue that continues when you're married too. If he's not okay with paying what he's paying for now as your boyfriend, he's not going to be okay with it as your husband. So there's that. Now you could comply and say, you know what, you're right. I'll do 60% of it since I'm making more. But if you do that, you have to ask yourself, is that the ideal situation for you? Is that how you see? Would you be able to respect him if you're paying more of the bills? If you're handling more of the load, how would you feel about him and yourself? Because a lot of women, when a man is not able to provide, she gets resentful. You might still love him, but in the back of your mind, it's like, I could do better than you. So what happens is when you're in a situation with a man and in your mind you're saying I could do better than you, you'll always be dissatisfied. It's like you'll always be window shopping with him. You'll always be looking for someone else to replace him. That's what happens there. That's what happens there. So, you got to think about that. Both sides want to avoid being exploited. Women want to avoid being exploited for their bodies. Men want to avoid being exploited for the resources. Have you heard of dinner whores? Dinner whores. I haven't heard it termed like that. I'm assuming that women just go out and get free dinners from men they don't like. Is that what that means? Ruminant. And I understand what you're saying about men not wanting to be exploited for the resources. But the part that, ruminant, I want you and other men that watch videos like this to understand is that the burden of the brunt of the risk or the lion's share of the risk has to be on you. Because women cannot bounce back from failed relationships the same way that men can. They just can't. They just can't. Even if she wins this, let's say you were with a woman, y'all together 5 years, you have 2 children, she divorces you and gets the house and I don't know, some settlement on a monthly basis. She's still a woman, a single mother with children. And the chances of her getting a man who doesn't exploit her for the check that she's now getting off of the sweat equity you've accumulated so she can get something in the divorce, the chances of her getting a man who doesn't use her for pleasure, it's really low. Her prospects to get anything of quality after being with you are extremely low. You can get another family when the ink on the divorce, before the ink is dry on a divorce paper, you can find another woman that does not care if you have an ex-wife with kids. She'll marry you and start a whole nother life with you with no concern for your background and your past. Whereas a woman with children is always going to be scrutinized. Like, okay, what happened to you? What's wrong with you? Why he left you? Why he ain't taking care of the kids? What am I stepping into here? This is high risk. This is what a man will say. Regardless if she live in a house she don't have to pay rent for or getting a little subsidized money or whatever, she's still going to be a high risk. A woman with children is always going to be a high risk. It's just not the same. So while men talk about they don't want, to be used for the resources can be replenished, but a woman's time cannot. The 5 and 10 years that she spends with you and has babies with you and all of that, her sexual market value does not recover from that. She can't recover from that. And you guys know this very well because this is all you guys talk about day in, day out, and twice on Sunday. Is a sexual market value of women. You're saying women ain't worth nothing outside of their prime. This is what you men talk about. A woman after 30 ain't worth shit. This is exactly what y'all say. So we know this. We understand this. So if a woman takes a chance on you and rides with you as a girlfriend for 10 years, the likelihood of her bouncing back and being able to catch a man of quality after she burnt out time with you is low. It's low. So we can't look at these things the same. We can't look at these things the same because they're not. We're not evaluated the same. A man can always get a woman if he's attractive, whether he has money or not. So even though the resources are a thing, if you're decent enough looking, you can get a woman to sponsor you. You can get a woman to sponsor you. A woman can make 6 figures and still have trouble getting a man, and that's what's happening now. Is it not? All these career women with double degrees and stuff, alone. Alone. It's not, we don't evaluate things the same. We don't evaluate them the same. Could the fear of mishandling and abuse? Discernment on both ends is necessary? Absolutely. Men exploit women for resources in their body. Yes, they do. They do now more than ever. Why do we even know how much you make? You say you got to keep that quiet? You might need to keep that quiet. His views are I should pay the bills and he pay the rent. I'd rather save my money for my beauty products and upkeep. Oh, okay. Okay. So then it sounds like you're sort of a high maintenance girl, and this guy really, this boyfriend of yours really can't afford the lifestyle that you want to maintain. That's what it sounds like. I don't know, you're entitled to want what it is you want. But in fairness, you need to want it from somebody who can give it to you. You know, you need to want it from somebody who's capable of giving it to you. And if you're struggling if he's struggling to pay rent, if it's a struggle for him to pay rent, if by the time he pays rent he only has $50 left in his pocket, he's resentful of that. What kind of, if he's resentful about what he's required to contribute, that is not a relationship that's going to be helpful or useful to you. So you gotta look at that. I don't see the point of living with a man and going 50-50. That's why it's my responsibility to find a man who shares my beliefs. It is absolutely a responsibility that you gotta know what you want. You gotta know what you want. I've said before in this life, I think 50-50 is a scam. I think it is. For the risk that you take, and the time that you waste. I think 50-50 is a scam. I think being a girlfriend is a scam. I really do. I really do, because both of them you wind up settling, and what's your reward? Him cheating on you with another woman and all kind of stuff, because that might happen. That might happen. I don't know. I don't know. A man can still find a woman that's willing to deal with him regardless of his financial status, because a man knows there's lots of desperate women out here willing to settle. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's never 50-50. Women always pay more. Yeah, yeah. There is that. There is that. The only thing I would suggest, women who are dating men who don't make enough uh money, be honest about how you feel about that. Some of us get with men who have potential, right? There are men who have potential to make more, and he's toiling the soil and whatever, getting deals together, and he's doing the groundwork, and eventually things will break, right? There are some that are like that. If you want to hold on for that moment, for the windfall, you are entitled to do so. But if you're with somebody and this is what it is, right? This is all it is. This is all his ambition is capped out. Then you have to really be honest. Like, okay, can I do this, or am I going to be resentful here? What if kids come into play? Like the sister who has the boyfriend. What if you get pregnant? He's complaining about paying the rent. What if you get pregnant? That's another expense. A man who complains about what he needs to contribute, that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue. The man who gets to know you and gives more says more about what they really think of you as an individual, and not what any woman can offer. Wait a minute. The man who gets to know you and gives more says more about what they really think of you as an individual, and not what any woman can offer. I don't know your point to that. I still don't know your point. Johnny P says $60 max. So $60 for a date. That's your max. That's your cutoff. That's your tap out. 60. Where can you go for 60 bucks? Red Lobster. No dessert though. You could probably do Red Lobster on that. Just you can't do no wine or dessert though. $60 in total or a piece? Because if it's $60 in total, you can't even go to Red Lobster with that. I don't think. Unless you just go get the cheese biscuits and some sweet tea and a slice of cheesecake. Yes, if y'all need to reach me, info@theuglygirlsclub.com. Since I make $200K yearly due to my online business, my boyfriends think I need to take on some of the expenses, but I'd rather use my money for vacation and outings. I guess I'm selfish. That's what it sounds like. Tenderoni. It sounds like you are a high maintenance girl, self absorbed into yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, but you need to get a guy who can finance that. Oh, Johnny's impressed with that. I think Johnny wants to be your boyfriend. Johnny may want to be your boyfriend. He goes, wow. Johnny wants a little bit of that too. Johnny will pay half of what he's paying to get a little bit of that 200K you got. What do you do, by the way, Tenderoni? Is that you have an online business that you're making 200K? What do you do? Your problem is you're very vocal about your money and stuff. You flaunt that, and that's your issue too. That's your issue as well. As a man, as a man wants a woman to look her best on a first date, a man should be well acquainted with resources on the first date. You want love for free, yet there are women in this world you wouldn't date. I mean, there it is. 120 on the first date covers entree, a drink, and a tip. All right. All right, Tracy said an entree, a drink, and a tip. No dessert, though. No dessert. Whole outfit and makeup costs triple the amount of $60 you deserve. Going out with a basic looking woman on that amount, which is fine, but be honest. Yeah, you do what you want. I'm like, listen, whatever your effort is mine. That's all I got to say on that. I'm gonna match you in it. I sell beauty products. Oh, okay, cool. It's not a seller's market. Men still can get $2 blowjob. Where are men getting $2 blowjobs from? Basic looking women explain. He doesn't know how much I make. I don't tell men my finances, but they can tell by the handbags. Well, Tinder, listen, it sounds like you're a girl who's all of that. You need to move in circles where men are all of that too. You know, and it's not a problem for them. You're I don't know, you're with a simp. You're with a simp, and you're a little aggravated about that. And that problem is not going to get better. That problem is not going to get better. You already feel in your mind that he's not as good as you. That's what this is. You feel in your mind he's not as good as you. That's how you feel, and that's a problem. That's a problem. No matter what he's making, that's a problem. You don't respect the man, no matter what he makes. That's going to be an issue. He lost his job. Now he wants me to pay. Well, listen. If you bad the way you're describing, you could get somebody better than an unemployed guy. I would assume. I would presume. Now you say he lost his job too? Wow. Yes, there are women I wouldn't date. Women who are shallow into vanity. Uh-oh. And have Eurocentric capitalist worldviews. Okay, so those are women you wouldn't date. He wants an earthy girl. He wants a, girl who drinks coconut water, like climbs up a tree and cuts the coconut down and chops it and drinks it right there. Like you want one of those types that slathers shea butter all over her body, wraps herself in mud cloth. Is that what you want for 441? He wants an earthy girl. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So y'all, I'm about to leave y'all. If y'all don't have any more questions for me, um, then I'll leave y'all for the day. Again, with the dating, factor in the interests and hobbies of both parties. Whatever each person is passionate about, factor that in. Factor in things that you've always wanted to do that you've never been able to do because of time or money or whatever it is. Factor that into your decision. It doesn't necessarily have to be money driven. To me, it should be experience driven. It should be more about an experience than anything else. Um, Experience and the effort that the person puts in. Experience and effort. That's my take on it. I'm on disability. I couldn't afford to buy an ice cube. That's unfortunate. Earthy girls are usually cheap dates. Yes, yes. It's a known fact that earthy girls are pretty cheap date. You could just swing in a hammock and talk about Cirrus star constellations or something like that. World peace. What's your question, Lady B? Thank you, 441. I appreciate you for coming. What's your question, Lady B? Because after I answer your question, I'm out. A Red Lobster lunch menu? Yeah, that's about right. I think that's about right. You get about Red Lobster with $60. I think you can. Yes, Cash App, y'all. Large bills only. Uh-oh. Rosemary said you want your cake and eat it too. Life is usually unnecessarily harder for individuals like you. Red Lobster is delicious. It is. That cheese bread, I don't eat cheese no more, but the cheese bread, I used to go just for that cheese bread. Red Lobster is delicious. Everything with sauce. Anything with sauce. Anything with cream. I like creamy things. So anything with cream on it, you got me sold. Just give me something with gravy, and I'll eat it. Yeah, them biscuits, them cheese and buttery cheese biscuits, boy. I be like, keep them coming. No, I don't want no appetizers. Just bring me another loaf. Bring me another loaf. You know how masculine and feminine are simply traits. It's not really something you're born with. Why do women have to have the feminine qualities? Why is that spiritual law? I think masculine and feminine is a biological thing. I think there's certain things that are affected environmentally, but being feminine is a biological function, so therefore it is a spiritual law. I don't see it as a woman is trained to be feminine in that way. I think it's innately in her, and then you have customs and cultural things that represent that. But I think that that's a natural function. You don't see it as femininity as something natural? Why do women have to have feminine qualities? So you want masculine qualities? I don't know what you. How is it biological if it's a biological trait? What do you mean? How is it biological? You are female. You do female things. You give birth. You nurture. A baby suckles from your breast. You have to be intuitive because you have to know body language to know when a baby's in pain and needs you to pick it up or feed it or hold it from danger and stuff. So there's certain things you're trained biologically to do. That's not, you know, I don't get why you're confused about that. So would you prefer to be masculine? I don't know. Men do female things. Men do female things. Okay. So what is it that you I don't know, what do you want permission to do? You want to do as men do? Do you feel shortchanged because you feel that you're required to be feminine and that's not really you, Lady B? Like what would you like to be able to do? I don't know. Tender said Malik Yoba done got you. Yeah, yeah. You see how we're having a discussion about gender? Because that's what this discussion is now. Well, what makes a woman, and what makes a man a man? This is how the devil gets us. This is how. Well, I was asking to my friend about this, and she kept saying anyone can be feminine, and we should be equal. So she's saying anyone. So a male can be feminine, and because a male can be feminine, males and females should be equal in what way? Equal how? If we don't have the same function, I don't understand how we can be equal. So you believe women should be feminine? I'm trying to figure out equal in what way? How are we equal to men? How are we equal to men? A man can't be a woman, but he can be feminine. And by feminine, you mean what? Wear a dress? Wear makeup? I don't know, dance or something? Like, what? What? This comment section is what happens when the playground goes to the internet. Hey, it is what it is. If you're opposing me, then you oppose what Soka speaks on all the time. I'm only speaking what's reality. Let me go back and see. Africans as a collective don't have the luxury to be sleeping. The gains you have as an individual are due to those who work hard, didn't seek the path of least resistance. Okay. He almost convinced me to look at gender roles, but I stopped watching. The devil can be convincing. Who, Malik Yoba? Yo, that's a dangerous rabbit hole. That's a dangerous rabbit hole. I believe a woman can be feminine, but she should be, but she was saying feminine qualities are caring, nurturing, intuitive, attentive. Okay, so this person is saying that a man could be those things too. He can be caring, nurturing, intuitive, and attentive. So that means that we should give up, so that means that being feminine isn't a thing exclusive to women, and therefore gender is not real as well. Because if we're saying that anybody can be feminine, like truly feminine, then they're saying there shouldn't be any distinction between gender. Did you see Malik Yoba storm out of the interview